What's Gucci with it, veterans, military? Today we're going to be talking about the psychology of the VA disability claims process. Why do we hate it so much? Let's get into it. First of all, we are afraid of the unknown. When I submitted my first VA claim separating from the Marine Corps, I had no idea what to expect. The only thing I was told was to submit names of disabilities or injuries in which I sustained while serving. That's exactly what I did. I submitted 8 things. I was denied for all except for 2, giving me a grand total VA rating of 10% and a silent, loud, fuck you, Veteran Affairs. Which, this leads me into the second thing, why we hate the VA disability claims process. This continued without any context or any type of assistance. Yeah, there's veteran service organizations, there's VSOs, there's YouTube, there's fellow veterans, but it's still not the same. It's not the same as when we entered into the military. There's boot camp. Boot camp laid the foundation of majority of our military career. So if you were a shitbag in boot camp, you're still going to be a shitbag in the fleet. If you was a stellar, soldier, devil dog, Navy squid, Air Force motherfucking, y'all know what y'all are. Hey, you'll excel. Most veterans' first reaction to a denied VA claim is, what is it? It is what it is. Fuck the VA. It's trash. I'm out. Most never even try again. There's so many veterans that are 80 years old or 22 years old who submitted that first VA claim and they never went back to do anything else. However, the VA or C&P examiner had all the medical evidence needed for service connection. However, that VA rater or C&P examiner is holding something as small as a diagnosis hostage, in which they can actually give after reviewing the medical evidence that has been submitted, but they deny it for a host of reasons. Why? They want us to get mad and quit and say F the VA. But in us quitting, we're forfeiting compensation for the injuries and disabilities in which we sustained while serving our country. How does a veteran understand what it takes to get service connected for a disability as well as an increase? Why does the VA block the VA benefits for majority of veterans? These are quite complex questions, but I got one simple answer for that. It's just get educated. Learn from the losses. Learn from the pits of despair and rise up to get that motherfucking VA compensation. Which leads us into the next step. The next reason why we hate the VA claims process. Education through trial by fire as well as observation. Not gonna lie, after my first claim, I was pretty much, F you with the VA when they gave me that 10%. I said F them for 4 years, up until I had a good buddy of mine talk enough shit to me. Y'all know what that is. It sparked my interest to learn the truth behind truths when it comes to the VA disability claims process. I read my decision letters multiple times, as well as reviewed my service treatment record to identify any injuries, disabilities, in which I didn't initially submit on my first VA claim. I read publications in which the VA specifically utilizes to determine what is needed for VA benefits, as well as many appealed VA claims from other veterans who were denied, decision letters trying to help buddies of mine as well as veterans in the beginning stages of VA disability night ops, as well as each disability identified by the VA has pretty much the same criteria when it comes to service connection, which is a diagnosis. Even for the Pact Act presumptive conditions right now, 80% of veterans filing for Pact Act related claims are being denied due to a lack of a diagnosis. Why is that? Yeah, you served in Iraq or Afghanistan. Yeah, you may have been getting treatment for allergic rhinitis, chronic sinusitis, maybe IBS, some type of cancer associated with that Pact Act list. However, you don't have a diagnosis. You have, flimsy medical evidence. So we're going to deny it, mainly due to you don't have a diagnosis. Yeah, you may have been taking medication for that for years up until this point. However, you didn't know where to start. You know, VA to come out with all this, good legislation, all these good, acts, laws, all this information that's coming out. However, the main thing that veterans are not doing is getting educated. We're not opening up the publications in which the VA is utilizing. They're pretty much giving it to us, but 98% of us are not doing it. Maybe 99% are not reading. Okay, if I'm going to, I got migraines, I got PTSD, I got insomnia, I got this knee issue that just don't go away. I got back issues, It's not enough to, you went to medical when you was in the military. It's how do you articulate that injury or diagnosis to the VA and be like, hey, this happened when I was serving. Regardless if you're filing direct service, secondary, or presumptive condition. Outside of that, specific conditions need to be present to determine your level of VA rating you receive for each individual disability, rising you closer to 100% permanent and total veterans. It's not enough to want to get to 100% P&T, permanent total, the holy elixir, what I'm talking about, but you gotta get educated along the way. There's a foundation for everything. And at least with the VA, they give, the cheat sheets are out there. And the CFR 38, the M21-1 adjudication manual, even in our decision letters on denied claims. I made it my mission, to get every denied claim that I was initially denied for service connected whenever I submitted that supplemental. And what happened? I got them all service connected when I submitted that supplemental to include secondaries on top of those with diligent research, strong mind, and never let the VA claims process fuck with your psyche, because it's mentally draining, it's stressful, it's tiring. Every time I got into the process, I was stressed. I had nightmares about getting a denied claim. I was just like, goddamn, what the fuck, yo? But hey, you gotta keep your head up, keep pressing, get educated, grab a friend, grab a buddy, reach out to Debo. I got y'all, Hey, and as always, y'all know what to do. Remember, 2023, you're the vet. Motherfucker, this motherfucking Debo, y'all stay Gucci with it, understand me?